This meeting is being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
All right, at this time, can we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and also followed by a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad.
Here.
Councilmember Perry.
Here.
Councilmember Roy.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sippel.
Here.
Mayor Simonson.
Here. All right, we have no work session this evening, so we're going to move right down to the consent agenda. Does council have any questions or comments regarding anything on the consent agenda?
That I.
All right, seeing none, we open it to the public. If you have any questions or comments on anything on the consent agenda, just ask for your name and address for the record. Anyone on the consent agenda? I see none.
Approval of the minutes from the July 1st, 2019 meeting. Approval of closed session minutes from the July 1st, 2019 meeting. Resolutions 2019-233 through 2019-241. And ordinance number 2019-11. An ordinance of the Township of Lower vacating, surrendering, and extinguishing the public rights of a portion of Cedar Avenue. This is the first reading of this ordinance. The second reading and public hearing has been scheduled for August 5th, 2019.
All right, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. I'll second the motion.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes. All right, we move right down to the manager's report. Mr. Ridgway.
Yes. First, I'd like to start by saying we got off to a great jump start with our concert series last Wednesday, and this week hopefully will be even bigger as the band Amish Outlaws have the biggest draw right now in the tri-state area. I did speak with Mike Porch. I contacted Heath Durkee concerning the availability of or the lack of availability for certain concessions there. We strategized today, going to finalize some things tomorrow so that our constituents can enjoy the night even better without waiting in such long lines for things at the DRBA. On a different avenue, this Thursday, the DRBA has requested a meeting with myself, and we will have our engineer there because the commissioner is looking at the walkway from Lincoln to Douglas Canal Park. They want to revisit that. Want to discuss the sidewalks as well as the lighting there. And I'll report that back in our next meeting, the outcome of that and what the direction is going to be going forward. And if the engineer's report will be next, but it was a shock to me, so I will be reporting it tonight before he speaks. But Mark Schrey will be leaving as our head engineer in 2 to 3 weeks. Mark is going to be giving his report here, but he's obviously given us years of dedicated service and turned one very controversial project into a stone cold winner and game changer for us in Ward 2 along that bayfront. So Mark will continue fighting for us for the next 2 to 3 weeks till we have phases 1 and 2 wrapped up. And a very capable Sean Carr will be taking over in Mark's role. And Bill Galestock is the one I met with first because Bill has been in the trenches with Sean. I've worked with Sean on a few projects also. And we'll keep moving on here. And Mark, I just want you to know that we fought many battles in the last 3 years, and I respect your professionality and work acumen more than any of the engineers I've dealt with, and I and council will miss your efforts here in Lower Township. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Well said. And without further ado, we're going to turn it over to Mr. Stray.
For his final report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I appreciate your comments, Jim. It's been a pleasure serving the township. I do want to let you know that I am not leaving Mont McDonald. I'm relocating to our Pittsburgh office, so I will still be around for things that come up when Sean's taking over. If things come up later on, I will be available for providing history, whatever he needs and support. So I just wanted to let you guys know that as well. So Roseanne Avenue, Phase 1, the paving was completed on Friday. The roadway work is complete outside of some pedestrian signage that needs to be done. Atlantic Electric was in today on the pump station site to energize their system. And we're looking at probably the next 4 days here of work on the pump station site to get that system up, tested, to get the electrical hookups and all the required testing per the contract. So, as well as being fine graded and basically getting to the point where we need to be on with regards to the plan. So, we're looking at probably a week of the contractor and then probably next week of actual our electrical engineer coming down, and in the presence of him and our instrumentation guy, the pump testing and all that will occur. So, but the majority of the construction should be complete by the end of this week for that project. Phase 2 or Phase 3, the contractor completed his test pits for his on his project area, and we're currently in the process of submitting and reviewing his shop drawings for the project. So that phase will take approximately 2 weeks by the time he gets his materials ordered and so forth, but he should be picking up construction on the site in the next 3 to 4 weeks if everything goes as planned. Beach access, I was hoping to have the permit here tonight. We contacted the DEP today, no response. As you know, tomorrow is the deadline, so I'm hoping that they will be emailing us the permit tomorrow morning, afternoon, and we'll subsequently forward it to you. The rec center restrooms, we're in the process of putting together a proposal for the construction phase services, which we're intending to get to the township this week. We're hoping once that's in, that we can schedule the receipt of bids for that project and get that project underway. And then I guess finally in the Mulligan Field, we did meet with the Township Rec Department on the concepts that were provided to them. They have chosen their concept, which includes a hockey rink and a large multi-purpose field, and we're in the process of taking the information and comments that they had for us and including that and formulating the final master plan, which will be submitted in the month of August to the township for final approval.
Awesome.
Again, that's all I have tonight.
I would just like to add two things, because it involves the homeowners there. And Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, there was extensive landscaping going on for all the folks that still needed their yards sodded, and that was completed by Sunday, that phase. There's still work that we have to do along there with some individual complaints that we'll be getting to, and of course we want to get this generator up and running. And the other thing I wanted to mention to you, I forgot, is that we're going ahead with a grant now for Rotary Park right down here. There are some funds available out there to see about dressing that up. And although it will be a 20 project, we feel confident that we can make another one of our parks a lot nicer. So Mark,
Very nice.
thanks.
If I could just add a note on regarding the sodding, just so you're aware, the contractor, once the sodding is complete, which he still has the curb lawn along the west side of Clearwater to put in, but once the sod is complete, he has to maintain that sod for 60 days. So at the end of that 60-day period, we'll reassess the condition of any sod out there that needs to be replaced, that hasn't taken hold or has died, so forth and so on. So there is a 2-month window in which he's got to water it, weed it, cut it, the whole bit, so.
I was down there Saturday. I took a ride through the neighborhood, and it looks totally different. Unbelievable. Once that the asphalt paving was done, and I saw the landscapers out there wearing a 200 block sodding, it looks totally transformed from what it originally was. It looks great.
And then this morning, they put in the crosswalk striping, the stop bars, and all that striping is in on the pavement, so it's...
Great job, Mark.
From Beirut to Beverly Hills. See that?
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.